What is good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Muff. I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers. I appreciate all the love in the comment section. Continue to smash up those like buttons for your boys. It really helps the video to go a long way. But today, I'm going to hit y'all with my thoughts on this new project from Schoolboy Q entitled Blue Lips. For TDE and Black Hippy fans, this new album was a heavily anticipated drop. And if you are rocking with TDE like that, then this might have been one of your most anticipated albums of the year. Because fans are always amped to get new Black Hippy music, and this is Groovy Q's first album since Crash Talk, all the way back in 2019. Now, that was a project that did receive some mixed reviews. So a lot of folks were eager to get some new material from this West Coast rap star. But getting right into Blue Lips, it contains 18 songs lasting approximately 56 minutes, so it's a little longer in length. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The opener, Funny Guy, it's just a cool, funky intro to kick things off. There's really no rapping, just a refrain. But what I liked about this was the vintage, groovy, feel-good production. The first actual song is Pop featuring Rico Nasty. Now, this has an off-kilter rock-like beat that was a bit jarring. There was an experimental vibe to the production that might not be for everyone. But Schoolboy Q was bringing the energy and the intensity with his delivery, so I could appreciate that much. Thankfully, the following song, Thank God For Me, appealed to me a little more. Actually, I'd say it's one of the highlights. We get a cool contrast in beat shifts, going from something very ambient and jazzy to a gutter Project Pat sample. The tempo shift was flawless to me, and I feel this is one of the better beat change-ups of the many that we got on this album. Right after is the single Blue Slides, which is a heartfelt dedication to his friend, the late great Mac Miller. I was loving this serene, jazzy soundscape, and you can tell the Schoolboy Q really put his heart into this record, and I feel it was on here that we got some of his better lyrics on this project. So yeah, can't say enough good things about Blue Slide. Next is Yearn 101, and it's your standard TDE banger, with those aggressive bass rumbling. And while this one is not a favorite, I could appreciate the energy. I don't know, it may grow on me, perhaps. Then there is Lovebirds, which easily contains the most abrasive beat shift on this album, in that it goes from this soothing soul sample to an aggressive trap beat just like that, and back and forth. I did have some difficulty getting into this particular track, to be honest, and while I don't like it, I found the beat shift to be a bit distracting. The positive spin on it, I guess, could be, if you were sleepy, then listening to this will definitely wake you up. Following this is Movie with AZ Chic or Chic. I know I'll probably butcher that name. My apologies. But this is a chill West Coast slapper that doesn't really have any rapping from Schoolboy, just partially a refrain, but it just features this verse from that featured artist. As a result, this one did feel more like an interlude that wasn't bad, but it didn't do a whole lot for me. Then this leads into one of the dopest songs, Cooties. I just dug this whimsical boom bap beats and his flow change up throughout. Also, this has some of Schoolboy Q's better rapping. He opens up about embracing fatherhood, success. So all in all, it is a great introspective moment on this album with that fire production. The subsequent song, Ohio with Freddie Gibbs, really feels like 3 tracks in one due to the constant instrumental change up. Now, the first beat has a really funky, mellow, playlistic vibe that I wish went on a bit longer, but we were bombarded by this explosive trap beat, and then that switched out quickly into the dreamy jazz soundscape of the third beat. The Gibbs feature was pretty solid as usual, and while I like this song, it was all over the place instrumentally. Still to give it the benefit of the doubt, I suppose you could call this a highlight. Immediately after is FOUX with Absol, and I believe this is their fourth installment to the Druggies with Hoes series. I really dug the funky Watts Prophets intro at the beginning, but this was a woozy and hazy banger from these two that did harken back to that 2010 Q and Absol era, so fans wanting more of that aesthetic, should have been pleased with this particular track. Afterwards is First, and it is more of a raunchy banger that has a cool psychedelic beat from Cardo Got Wangs. The subtle instrumental shifts were also dope, and that chopped and screwed hook, it made it pop. Now, there wasn't a whole lot to report on lyrically here, however, I could appreciate this one for the vibe. Then there is Nunu, another high point on this album where he got a little more personal and rapping in a hushed sort of tone. But instrumentally, this thing is gorgeous. The mellow, sparkling jazz sample is immaculate, and I'm pretty sure many would agree that this is one of the best songs on Blue Lips. Track 13 is Back in Love, and this is one of his club records, but it still has that moody nocturnal vibe that you would expect from a Schoolboy Q club record, although for some reason I couldn't get into this one too much. Sonically, it's not bad, but I'm unlikely to return to it. The following song, however, Lost Times, produced by The Alchemist, is another great record on this album. I've always felt that Schoolboy Q and The Alchemist have gelled well together, and they both showed improved with this record once again. For some reason, I was getting a Habits and Contradictions feel to this track. Both Groovy Q and Uncle Al were in their bag, and Jazzy did not disappoint on the hook. Track 15, Germany 86, is another standout where we get an attractive soul sample that has those cinematic blaxploitation vibes, and it also contains some sharper writing from Schoolboy, who not only honors his mom but also his girl. This was a dope moment on the album, although I do wish it was a tad bit longer in length. Track 16 is Time Killers, and it's got an abstract psychedelic beat that I found to be appealing, and the following line was a little comical. I don't take advice from dudes with no hoes. But yeah, this was a decent track that I dug for the flow and that unorthodox production. Then there is Pig Feet, a hypnotic dark anthem about being anti-12. There was this anti-police sentiment to this record. And I love the unsettling, dark, moody quality to that production. Then this project wraps up with the too short but sweet track, Smile. Now, this had potential to be probably the most amazing song on the album, but it ended up feeling like an unfinished outro. I still love the instrumental, the harmonizing, and the vibe, but I feel this could have been much more. As a result, it was kind of a tease. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of a strong 3.5 mics. I do think it was a dope album that was better than his 2019 release. Although I did not feel that this was an easy album to digest off a few listens. There were many different production styles, vibes, and beat change-ups going on that will keep you on your toes as a listener, for sure. And the project does have that artistic flair that we have come to expect from TDE album releases. However, at the same time, it was a jarring listen in some spots. Some tracks were just a little too short, or there might have been, actually there was an over-reliance on beat change-ups, which might have given you, as the listener, some instrumental ADHD, like perhaps you may have desired that he just stuck with one beat instead of three for a song. Still, I'm sure there will be some folks who will, declare this to be the album of the year thus far. And while I feel there are some really great songs on here, there are just some tracks that didn't quite do it for me, and I think this could have benefited from a shortened track list. Also, I will add that I personally feel that Schoolboy Q tends to sound at his best over more of the soulful and jazzy production sounds than he does the more electronic ones. Let me know in the comment section where you would rank this in Schoolboy Q's discography. My favorite tracks include Thank God For Me, Blue Slides, Cooties, Ohio, Nunu, Lost Times, Germany 86, Time Killers, Pig Feet, and Smile. But it's your boy Mixtape Muff. I'm signing out. As always, it is peace and blessings. Schoolboy Q, Blue Lips, 1.